Hello everyone, I'm Lady Calamere, and I welcome you to my channel, and today we got Sir Mew Mew to help us learn all about the god Dazhbog. So this is my 262nd presentation, and I welcome you to my channel. So, Sir Mew Mew, let's talk about Dazhbog. Dazhbog, wow. He is a major god among the Slavs. Not okay, so a lot of Slavs, not probably most of them, a big percentage of them believed in Dazhbog. Now, if you look at the Slavic tribes, they did not believe in all of the same gods, and some of the same gods that they did believe had some different origins. So, let's talk about Dazhbog. He is a solar god, even a sun god. And Khors, Khors, was usually seen as a sun, but Dazhbog is also a solar god. Dazhbog comes from the word Dazh, which means to give or to gift. So, Dazhbog means God's gift, the giving God, the God that gives. So he is a generous God. Now, not only is he a God that's worshipped, he's also seen as a cultural hero. To the Serbs, the Serbians, they say that they were descendant of Dazhbog. So he deals with, his element is fire, but in some he also deals with water when it comes to the rain. He is a god that is seen as a god of order, a god of fairness, a god of justice. But even though he is a giving god and even approachable, understand that he does have a temper and he could be very quick to it. For there was once a king that was high and mighty and too proud of himself, and he disrespected and Dazhbog and would not honor this god. So this god withheld the rain, he withheld his sunlight, and there we had drought, we had famine, and until the king mended his ways, Dazhbog would not give. And once the king mended his ways, Dazhbog give. So he will not tolerate disrespect. And did you know that there's Slavic people to this day, and there are Slavic people who are Christians, right? Of course. But those, even Christianity, still carry some of their culture, the ancient culture, and whether some people will call it superstition or not. But there was a belief that among the hearth fire, or even in the kitchen while you were cooking, you should not whistle. You should not say profanity or yell. And that parents would discipline their children for doing so. Or people would say, hey, stop it. Or like whack them, across the backside or across the head, and just, whack them upside the head and say, stop it. But they didn't know why they were doing it. Well, this comes from because of honoring this God. So, yeah, even among the Ukraine, especially that among the Ukrainians, you don't like whistle, you don't use profane words or curse or cuss or scream in front of the hearth fire. So this guy dealt with the hearth and the fire. Obviously. Who was his father and mother? Well, this is depending on whether you're Eastern Slav, Southern Slav, and Western Slavs, and where you come from. He is either the child, the son of Slavog and Lada, or his father is Perun, or that he rose from the watery abyss. The Zariah were his daughters, and depending on where you were from, it's either one daughter who had two aspects, or two different daughters, one in the morning and one at night, or three. So, Dazhbog is actually one of the gods and goddesses, well, one of the gods of the Rodnovari culture that to this day is celebrated with animal sacrifice. And on his day, usually a rooster was sacrificed. Now, Dazhbog, this god, is said to be very handsome. So he rides upon his chariot, driven by fiery horses. And during the waxing of the day, he's seen as a handsome man with blonde hair. Then, in the evening, as the sun is set, he's seen as a man with a bloated red face and elderly. Now, make no mistake, this god is a shapeshifter. But however, when he comes as a form of a man, he walks with a limp. And even in stories where you can tell it's him because he walks with a limp and he has one good eye and one eye that's not so good. He can also turn himself, is seen commonly as a wolf, a white wolf, with a limp in one good eye and one eye that is not so good. Anyway, this god is the animals that are associated with him are definitely wolves. Also snakes, but definitely wolves. No matter where at in the Slavic culture, if they worship him, he is seen with wolves. And his chariot is driven by fiery horses, so he deals with them too of horses. Now, Morana or Monzana and him used to have a relationship, but eventually it turned sour, as I described this in my presentation with Morzana. So check it out on my channel, as well as Dazhbog and Lada. I did one on her. So it just shows that darkness and light are fighting each other, and the cold and heat are kind of like fighting each other. Well, we have Sir Mew Mew here again. Well, hi, Sir Mew Mew. How are you doing? Sir Mew Mew says hello. And for some reason, he demands to be on the altar with Dazhbog because he's respecting the god, right? Right. So, the sun, as well as Dazhbog, is crucial to life all over. He is crucial to life. He is the reason that the crops grow, that we have the rains. He also deals with the fertile land. And he brings joy and happiness. He's a vital element to the lives of all, big and small, the rich and the poor. He was a natural provider, a natural giver. And he is the personification of sun of all its entirety of powers. Now, Joker, you be nice. There's not to be fighting on the altar of Dazhbog. Now, you're throwing me off what I'm trying to say, and that's not very nice. So, the tarot card, that's what I wanted to say, one that you would represent him is the sun. And if you don't have an image of Dazhbog, you can get an image of the sun. You can get an image. You can take a picture of the sun. Or go out and worship the sun. You can worship the rising of the sun when the sun is at full height, its zenith of its power, and the setting of the sun to honor this god. So in modern neo-paganism, people have associated summer solstice as well as the winter solstice with this god. The winter solstice as the renewal or rebirth of the sun, and the summer solstice when the sun is, when it's the brightest day of the year and it's at its zenith of power of that year. So, of course, people will associate his day with Sunday and also the planetary powers of, you guessed it, the sun. Now, as for his Kors, Khors, not Coors the beer, but Kors the god, there is a name for Kors. And there's a lot that's lost about this god, this great deity, is that there's a name called Kors Dazhbog. Could that just be an aspect of Kors, or could some may say that there are some, well, I shouldn't say some may say, but there are some people that think this, but not all, that Dazhbog is actually Kors. And I'm not going to sit here and say, you believe what I tell you and that's it. That's not my point to this. Not my point at all. So we have Sir Mew Mew, who's sitting next to Dazhbog, being a good boy. Sir Mew Mew is a good boy. Right? Yes, you are. It looks like you're going to get a special treat just for you. So, his shape-shifting also deals with the cycle of time and nature and the changing of the seasons and life and death, birth and rebirth. And he is a god of both beginnings and endings. The beginning of the day and the ending of the day. So he's definitely a diurnal god. That should speak for itself. Diurnal means day and nocturnal means night, but he's diurnal. He is a god of great power. And you can feel his loving arms around you when you go out and you do sun, and you have anyone ever drawn down the sun? It's a little bit, it's, of course you wouldn't stare at the sun like you would with the moon when you're drawing down the moon. I would not recommend drawing down this, doing that with drawing down the sun. But I've drawn down the sun, and you can do it in the pool. Make sure there's no lightning storms. You can do it in the pool, which is really interesting. I've done that. And you can use him in your sun rituals and drawing down the sun. That is really interesting. Now, I never used Dazhbog yet to draw down the sun, but I've used other gods when I was calling the sunlight. And we can also associate, and this is more new age and stuff, and newer beliefs, the solar plexus is solar. We can draw that in, but some people like to associate the heart with the sun. So he's the sun of the spirit, whatever. So Dazhbog deals with the spiritual illumination and bringing things into light, and he is a god who also can help heal. And as you see, this is an actual image that I got from Belarus. Awesome. And I bought it from a third party on Amazon. And you see the solar wheel and the wheat. This is an image to the God. So through him we have food. Through him he nurtures us. He's the preserver. He is a nurturer. He is a father. Now, he is a God of spirituality and spiritual growth. He sheds light onto the darkness, literal and figurative darkness. You're going to be good, Mew Mew. You're not going to go after her. You're going to leave her alone, and you're going to be part of the presentation. You're going to be a good boy. And you can play with this. It's okay. Just don't break my statue. So, during Christian times, Dazhbog, what they called him was Satan, and called him Lucifer, and said, no, you God of light is really the light bringer, Lucifer, and that he is evil. So this is how they, help to stop paganism and force Christ down everyone's throat. And if you didn't accept Jesus, well, you'll regret it physically, because they would do horrible things. Look it up. So he becomes the devil. And of course, if you know anything about Lucifer and Satan and the devil, those are all different beings. But we're not going to get into that now, are we? Right now. So his colors are definitely like yellow. You associate yellow, gold, and red with him. And that hence this beautiful golden altar cloth with sparklies. Hey, Dazhbog is a god of good luck, prosperity, abundance. He's also a god of food, and he deals with the growth of food. He deals with growth, and he deals with nowadays finances, and he deals with all that. He also deals with a male, the boys and men, and he deals with issues concerning men and dealing with the manly parts and the male virility. In Greek cultures, he got associated with Helios, the titan of the sun. And some have even associated with him with the Olympian Apollonos, Apollyon. But in Greek it's Apollonos. Now Dazhbog, in some of because again, the Slavic world, the world of Slavs was so vast. I mean, from Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, throughout that whole area, and Poland, and all around. Dazhbog usually had a big role, but sometimes a minor role, but he ended up having a a great role. And eventually, in some parts of the Slavic nations, tribes, he outshines Slavog, where Slavog steps back and Dazhbog becomes the major god. Of course, along with Perun, which one day I'll talk about. And I also got a beautiful statue of Perun by the same artist. Dazhbog can be spelled differently depending, like D-A-J B-O-G, D-A-Z-H, B-O-G. So there may be some variations on the pronunciation of his name. And he is a very complex and multifaceted deity. Very complex. He's a god of wisdom and knowledge. He is a god of guidance, justice, order, and strength. And he knows how to fight. He's a god that causes purification. He's a god that deals with purification and consecration. He's a god that deals with power, mental power, physical power, and brute strength, as well as the power of the spirit. The link between the spiritual and the earthly. He is a heavenly God who shines his love and light upon the earth. So white wolves are really associated with him. And one of my animal spirits, my main animal spirit, is a white wolf. So I can really appreciate this god. And yes, I do have my main animal spirit is a white wolf. Very powerful. Maybe one day I'll do something on the wolf spirit. Oh! Now I'm thinking of Ozzy Osbourne's Bark at the Moon song. Okay? And that's interesting because wolves also deal with the moon. You don't see wolves barking. Well, they howl during the day. But they love to howl at the moon. Bark at the moon. Oh, okay, I'm a metalhead. I can't help it. So, what was I gonna say? His daughters are Zoriah. I don't, there is one, the Zoriah in the morning is supposed to open up the gates so that this god can come. And one day, she became very capricious and she was late. She kept getting later and later and later opening the gates. And Dazhbog was very upset with her. And he corrected that. You know, he made sure that he is not late again. Now, as for eclipses, well, that's interesting because in the Norse belief, it's believed that the wolf is trying to eat the sun, but it wasn't seen. I can't speak for all the Slavic nations, but from what I understand, it wasn't seen as good luck time. And usually it's like if you look across the world, the solar eclipse was a pretty scary time for people, or seen even in the medieval times as bad luck, a bad sign of doom and gloom and bad mojo. I love solar eclipses. That's interesting. So we can also associate spring and summer as being his growth in power. Here where I live, it's, we got only like what, four weeks of winter? Sometimes, if we're lucky, 6. if that. So, yeah, Florida. Good old Florida. The Sunshine State. Hey, Dazhbog, it's the Sunshine State. We got the Orange State, and known for our oranges. Sunny Florida. Hey, Dodgeball, bless Florida, because we're the Sunshine State. Anyways. Now, in the medieval manuscripts, if you look at the medieval manuscripts of, come on, think, primary chronicle, there, the primary chronicle, and Hypatian Codex. It is said that this god witnessed the heavenly descent of Dazhbog's blacksmith's tongs and the forgings of tools and weapons. Also, what was I gonna say? Ooh, I forgot. Also, Dazhbog is considered, is said to be his brother. But there are different things that believe that Dazhbog is actually Dazhbog, so depends which area of Slavic nations you are talking about. Dazhbog is a time he brings celebration and happiness. He's also a god that deals with destiny. And remember, he's a gift giver. So, if you're looking for something and you want to do a spell, especially if you want to do, you should do it during the day with with Dazhbog, because that's his power. Or you can look at the light that shines off the moon, because we know, in modern times that light comes from the moon. The moon is not self-illuminating. Ancient cultures believe that, a lot of them believe that the moon was self-illuminating. But it's actually the reflection of the moon. Of the sun. So we can also appreciate Dazhbog's light. So if you need something, call upon Dazhbog. Celebrate Dazhbog. I'm not saying you can't call on him at night. You can. But, again, great power during the day. If you need a better job, if you need more food, if you need some money, if you need a blessing of your home, or maybe you want to start a family, call upon Dazhbog. Because, again, he's a gift giver. He's very giving, and he's very generous. And he is also pretty loving, too. He's very fatherly. He's very brotherly. He's got that brotherly love. He's got that fatherly love going on. And he is a giver of good advice. He's a giver of great advice. He'll steer you right when you're at a crossroads. Now, he also takes care of the well-being of livestock. Maybe you're a rancher. Maybe you have a farm. Maybe you're just using your chickens for your eggs. He is a god of the well-being of your livestock and your farm animals. Okay? He is the one who perpetuates their lineage so that you can perpetuate your lineage. He takes care of the crops. And so maybe you're just having, maybe you're a farmer and you have this big plot of land of wheat or whatever, corn, or you're growing vegetables and fruits. Call upon Dazhbog to bless it. Or maybe you just got a little garden out back of your house. Call upon Dazhbog to bless it. Or maybe, just maybe, you just have a few plants. Call upon Dazhbog to bless it. And definitely, if you look at sunflowers, their face faces the sun from rising, zenith to setting. Their face will face the sun. So Dazhbog definitely can honor him with a sunflower. Definitely. 100% definitely. He is a god of protection. He will protect. So if you need an energy burst, maybe you need some energy in your life, maybe you're going through depression or sadness, you call upon this God, all right? And of course, if you have depression, please see a professional, or maybe just a life coach or therapist, psychiatrist. Take medication if you need it, but feel free to call upon Dazhbog during times of sadness. Now, when I say he's a god of men, I don't mean to exclude women. Women can also call upon, women have and still do call upon this God. So he's not just male exclusive. Let me tell you that. So, his chariot is a golden chariot. I forgot to mention that it's a golden chariot. He can help, as he travels, he can help you travel too. He can bless your traveling. Especially in the modern age where we have planes and cars and any which way of mode of traveling, he can bless your traveling. Now, Dazhbog can fight for you when you are being singled out, when you're being bullied, or when you are facing injustice. When someone is stealing from you, when someone is going after you, call upon Dazhbog. So may Dazhbog protect my home and protect me from all enemies. And he'll protect my babies too. He'll protect all my cats, because my cats are my babies. They're my babies. Now, what would you give this God? What should we give him, especially in modern times? Maybe we don't want to sacrifice a rooster. Not everyone is going to do that. And not everyone wants to do that. Well, rooster is a chicken, right? Male chicken. But we can offer him poultry. But maybe you're not into meat, right? Maybe you're a vegan. Well, give him beer. Beer is good. Is a good offering. Of course, anything made with that's from wheat, like, okay, let's think cake, bread. We can offer him. Now we have, this is not traditional, but think of tropical fruit. I think of a fruit, and actually, bananas are actually a berry. Yep, but we call it fruit. Anyways, think of tropical things that grow in warmer places like bananas, pineapples, right? And also think of like yellow fruit. I think of yellow watermelon. Did you know that the watermelon originally was yellow and it grew in Africa? Until it was moved in China and other places, it didn't take on this pink color. But yeah, now I know that's not traditional, but it is a. You can think of yellow watermelon, bananas, especially yellow bananas, fruit. Now you can think of yellow pears, yellow apples, but also red fruit too. So actually, if you cut open a watermelon, you have a red one, you can give it to him. But yellow sounds cool, right? But anyways, yellow and red berries and golden berries. And you can think of the Incan golden berries. You can give him cakes and ale. You can give him ginger ale in that point when you think of cakes and ale, or IPAs, white wine, champagne. You can give him mead, MEAD, which is fermented honey. Wine, alcohol made from fermented honey, and MEADE is wine mixed with honey. No, Joker, you're being a naughty boy. Naughty, naughty. Stones that we can associate with him: citrine, pyrite, gold, and sunstone. So you can get him the Indian sunstones, and also orthoclase and Oregon sunstone. Now, also people have given him silver. So you can give him gifts, silver coins and golden coins, gold and silver jewelry. Yellow topaz, which is imperial topaz, is a good one for this god. Those really go good with like the solar, a lot except for the silver, is the solar energies. And those are just some of the stones that you can associate with him. Give him coins regardless, and some paper money, because he also deals with that. You could give him cookies. Make fruit pies for him, like apple pie. A lemon meringue, right? That's a tropical fruit and it's yellow. And lemon squares, Give him some apricots and even dried fruit. And tropical fruit roll-ups, why not? But of course, you can't go wrong with chocolate. I mean, that's some sweets. Especially if it's in the golden wrap, right? Nuts and grains, oatmeal and cereal. And in the New World, we have corn. Well, it's considered New World, but in the Americas was where corn grew. And you can have red corn and yellow corns and all these. You can give him corn. So those are just some ideas of what to give him, right? Now, come on, guys. I'm just trying to stop them from I know this is we got the Joker here, by the way, and Sir Mew Mew and Joker being naughty. They both want to be in the altar, so that's why I got to like have a cat toy. If you're new to this channel, understand I my cats are the stars here. So he can help you with rebirthing rituals, modern rebirthing rituals. Because he does deal with that. Now Dazhbog, his fiery horses, also fire breathing horses, and depending on different parts of Slavic, they're silver, they're gold, they're white, or they're have the shining of diamonds. So also diamonds are also, you can also give him. Why not? They can end up having golden wings or white wings, and he flies across the sky on his chariot. So and it's also depending on where you're at night. Among the Slavic tribes, is it crosses the great ocean with a boat pulled by geese or swans or wild ducks. So they can also be part of his totem animals. But again, definitely the wolf, the white wolf. No matter what, the white wolf. And horses. But definitely the white wolf. With a limp and one good eye and one bad eye. Now, depending on where you are in the Slavs, he marries the moon Meshyats in some tales, in some stories, as also called, but also sometimes, depending on the Slavic area, Meshyat is also a male. And then sometimes married to Zevi, sorry. So Zori bore his children to Zoriah. So, anyways, did you know Vladimir the Great, who ruled until 1015? Dazhbog was one of the 6 gods selected by Vladimir the Great as the main pantheon of the Slavic culture. So, but eventually his statue was taken down and beaten and thrown into the mud and the muck and water. And, Christian love. So, Dazhbog will help you to see things better. And to see things behind the scenes, to read between the lines. He is a God of awareness and consciousness. To be aware and conscious of things, inner and outer world. And do remember that Dazhbog was one of the statues, idols, images that were erected by Vladimir the Great. but eventually torn down. Now, there was a story that I came across a while back of how he becomes a justice. Was this evil sorcerer one day? Well, he was a bad sorcerer, and he saw this maiden, and I guess she did not take to his advances, so he turned her into a hideous creature or a monster, and she didn't deserve that. And Dazhbog was very mad, and he said to the sorcerer, "Turn her back. You had no right to do this." And the sorcerer said, "Well, I can do whatever the hell I want." And Dazhbog was like, "Really?" And it was a great fight. And Dazhbog won. And the sorcerer was humbled and ran like a scolded dog. And the maiden, of course, was turned back. Either he made the sorcerer do it, or he did it himself and turned back into the beautiful maiden that she was. I'm not sure what part of the world, of the Slavic world, this came from, but it's a story that I came upon once, a while back. So I thought I would share that with you. And I'm so sorry you're hearing, I'm trying to keep them behave with this cat teaser. So now there is no cats on the altar. Both of them are just, I guess, tired of fighting. Anyways, Dazhbog is a very fascinating character to learn about. A very good, a good god. He's a good god. But remember, he does have a temper, and he will use his powers if he has to humble someone or. So, anyways, it is said every evening he went to the underworld of Noia, also called Nav, as I discussed that, about Nav in my presentation to Morana, and to be reborn every morning. Now, he can. Oh, what was I going to say? Come on, guys. You're distracting me. Stop. Don't fight with each other, you guys. Gotta be nice. No. Come on. Leave Lady Boss alone. Joker, I want to play. Oh my god, I might have to end this. Come on, guys. And by the way, when he comes as a man, sometimes he is seen with wolf bears, the fur of a wolf, dressed with it, or dressed with the fur of a bear. Oh, by the way, Zvorzik, when I said it's his brother, means Little Svavog. Little Svavog. So that's why I said it could be another name for Svavog, and it's all depending on what area of the vast lands of the Slavic people. So anyways, wow, I've been talking about 49 minutes. Oh, hi, Sir Mew Mew. It looks like we're going to be beginning and ending this presentation with Sir Mew Mew, you just showed your butt. With, of course, Sir Mew, that's my cats for you. Anyways, if you like this presentation, please give it a thumbs up. Share, like, and subscribe to let me know I'm doing a great job. That's how you can pay me. I don't get paid by YouTube. I don't have a Patreon account. I love money. But please send that money to charities that help people, that help the land, or to animals. Or give it to someone who is hungry and needy, or maybe, help feed a family, give them, a bag of food, buy a bag of groceries during these hard times. There are a lot of families that can use food, so think about donating, a little bit of your food or some cans to a food pantry. So anyways, check out my friend's channel, Witch in the Workings. That's Manin's channel. It's on YouTube. Also, my really good friend, the Gray Mystic. It's just a new channel, and he's just beginning, and he does great work. His name is John, so check him out, the Gray Mystic. Please check out those channels. Also, check out JD Delay. He's not dealing with magic now, but JD Delay is pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this presentation and the silliness of my cats. Yes. So anyways, I hope your day is blessed and happy. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, blessed be.